I'm your host, Stephen Bauman. It is the 6th of January, 2011, and I want to welcome you to La Crosse County, Wisconsin, south of West Salem. Today we are going to be discussing what you see behind me, these Cambrian sandstones in this outcrop. We are actually located in the southeast corner of the BP petrol station, which is where this outcrop stands. And unlike Matthias State Park, which was filmed on December 31st, where it was 55 degrees, today we've got about 15 degrees, but at least there's no rain. I welcome you, and I look forward to you joining me on this brief exploration of the Cambrian sandstones south of West Salem in La Crosse County. Hello. Okay, what you see behind me here is the Galesville sandstone. It's about 511 million years old, Middle Cambrian in age. In it, you can see the cross beds with flat bedding. At this time, large life had already evolved in the oceans. We had trilobites, we had ancestral cephalopods, we had all sorts of things swimming around, but life had not moved to the land yet. And this outcrop shows what we call a transgressive sequence. We get from an area where a more land-based environment to a marine environment. Pure, clean, rounded sandstone. There's almost no silts, no clays. It's almost all quartz sandstone. And there's no fossils in it. No worm burrows, nothing. Not even trace evidence. So we're going to traverse up this outcrop, and what we'll see is a general slow deepening of the seas. Okay. I brought you about 50 feet up from where we just were. We are still within the Galesville sandstone, but I wanted to show you something here. If you look to my right here, you see yellow, orange, and red coloring. This yellow, orange, and red coloring is caused by iron. The fact that there's iron here, if it's primary, what that means is that this area, at times, our beach, was somewhat stagnant and exposed probably to the air for a while in order for rain and stuff to help rust it out. Now, there's another explanation for the reds, and that's possibly that it's due to alteration of groundwater when this whole hill was still buried. I tend to think it's primary just because of the simple fact that as we go higher up in section, you're not going to see this anymore. It's here in the Galesville. It's up one more member in the Wanawak Formation, which is what we're going to visit next, the top member. But it's only at the base. And then as you go up, there's none of it at all. And another quick note, as we go up here, we do start to see, it's not exposed right here at the moment because of snow cover, we start to see thin green laminations of shale. Now that indicates that our beach environment might start to become a more near shore, near where the sea met the beach. We're almost at the top of it here, but anyway, let's continue on our journey uphill and describe the next section. What we see here is a little outcrop. It's the best I could do. This is a steep slope here. I've got to hold the camera by hand. But this is the exposure of the Ironton member of the Wanawak Formation. It directly overlooks visualize the Galesville. And what I want to show you here is this green colorization and this kind of orange yellow looking stuff. Now the Ironton is still a sandstone, but it's finer grained and it contains about 10 to 15% yellow clays. But right here it also contains something else. It's got dolomite cement. It's cemented with dolomite. So it's a dolomitic sandstone. And that indicates that this was marine in origin. Probably tidal flat. And there's a little further evidence of this by this green crossbeds in here. Right here and here. That is a mineral called glauconite. And that is conducive to a marine environment. We are going to go up a little further. We have one more formation to show you. This is the highest section of the Wanawak formation. And as you can see, this is looking east. And as you pan going north, you see all these high hills and outcrops like the one I'm climbing. These are all Cambrian sandstones. Before we move on, one quick note about the Ironton member of the Wanawak Formation. You can't see it right now because of snow cover, but there's abundant fossils in it. There's lots of trilobite tracks, worm burrows, things like that. It tells us conclusively that it is of a marine origin and probably a tidal flat environment to shallow marine shelf. Now as you come up, we're about 30 or 40 feet higher than where I just had you. What you see behind me here, this is the Reno member of the Lone Rock Formation. And this doesn't contain very many fossils or trace fossils, but it's very interesting because of the glauconite that's in it. You can't really see it from here, but as we get closer, this formation is often referred to as the green sands, and it is green. Okay, behind me here is the Reno member of the Lone Rock Formation. What you see here, and you can see these darker bands, and above me, and all throughout this formation is so rich in glauconite that it's actually quarried here for that. And glauconite has some industrial uses, fertilizer. It's also used as a pigment in paints and dyes. But here, what we see is conclusive evidence of a marine shelf environment of deposition. You don't have a lot of cross-bedding, although the glauconite, some beds of glauconite here are a foot thick, and they show cross laminations within. But the sandstone beds themselves are thin bedded. There's a couple medium beds, but generally it's thin bedded to thickly laminated. And that tells us that this was on a stable marine shelf when this stuff was deposited. And water depth, maybe 100, 200 feet. And that concludes our short, brief discussion of this outcrop south of West Salem, Wisconsin, and La Crosse County. I hope you learned something today.